Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Alliance Forever. Today I have a 7v7 custom matcher on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the west, ending with Team 2 in the east. Starting off with Team 1's northern player, they're working our way southward. We have in forest green, Lord Farrell 13. He is a Cybern for this match as a 1400. And continuing on southward, we have in orange color, Orange Kavanaugh as an Aeon. He is a 1700. In emerald green to his east is Failer. He is a UEF for this match as a 1700 as well. In glow in the dark green to his south, we have that's glow in the dark green. It is LCR. He is a 1100 as a Cybern. In snow white to his south by southwest, it is Demot, if you pronounce the T or not. He is a Seraphim for this match as a 1000 rated player. To his southeast in ruby red is Sui as a Cybern. He is a 1900 rated player. And last but not least for Team 1, the highest rated player on Team 1, it is in Imperial Gray, Yoji as a Seraphim. He is a 2000 rated player. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have one of each of the factions at a minimum with 3 Cyberns and 2 Seraphim, 1 Aeon, and 1 UEF. Starting up with Team 2 southern player, then working our way northward, we have in Chevy Crimson Chancellor as a UEF. Definitely a appropriate name, appropriate color with name, especially if you go with the Chancellor Palpatine route. He is a 1400 again in Chevy Crimson. To his north in Barbie Pink, we have the Cyber player of Psycho Ad. He is a 1700. To his northwest in Royal Blue is Mav 7119 as a UEF as a 1400 in Light Octane. Not really blending in with his environment, but it's kind of on brand for this, very desert map. He is a Seraphim for this match. It is Nice Try. He is a 1200. To his northeast in Stitch Blue is Chap as a UEF as a 1000 rated player. In Rust to his northwest, we have Knightley as an Aeon. He is a 1700. And last but not least for Team 2, it is the highest rated player on Team 2. And in the game overall, it is the Tropical Ocean Blue player of the Wreck. He is a 2200. So for Team 2 side of the map, they also have one of each of the factions, but instead they have 3 UEF, 2 Aeon, 1 Seraphim, and 1 Cybern. So I expect to see a decent amount of Fat Boys running around for Team 2 and a decent amount of Cybern, Monkeloids, and Crabs running around for Team 1. And for these 14 players on the map, let's take a look how much reclaim they have to scoop up. Currently sitting at 24,000 mass in reclaim, which makes it a little bit under 2K. I'd say about 17,500 mass per player, so 1,750 mass roughly. Doing rough math in my head. This map does have a decent amount of mexes to grab. Taking a look at, say, Team 1 side of the map, Trimex position up here, as well as another one right in front of Failer. There's another Trimex position already being grabbed by LCR, and one that's already been grabbed by Sui. So that's 4 Trimex positions on the front side of things. There's some mexes to be fought over in the middle, not a terrible amount. Also, land is going to be kind of confined in that environment. So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe one team or the other try to grab the opposite Trimex position so they don't get essentially bottlenecked right here and right here. But we'll see how these players get on in this game. And, of course, I am back in my normal machine, normal setup, normal everything. Very happy to be home after traveling for a couple of weeks. It's nice to essentially, be in my own house, sleep in my own bed, that kind of sort of thing. I bet a lot of people have similar feelings about that. It is nice to travel, get out of the house once in a while, but it is nice to just be home and be with my dog and be with my wife and that sort of thing. Taking a look at where our players are headed off to, it is a 2v2 in the north, a 1v1 in the north or mid-north or whatever you want to call that, 1v1 in the south mid, and crazy enough, we have Team 1's player Sui in Team 2's side of the map actually intercepting Psychoad, going for that Trimex position. So it is a 2v2 with, of course, Demont over here to the west. I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe go south or even... I think he's maybe leaning more south. This is kind of more of an immediate problem. And I've done 1, 2, 3... Has everybody been in counterboard for Team 2? Oh, it looks like Team 2's player of Chap is over here getting a nice little T1 PD set up to establish just a protective line there. So possibly 3v2 in favor of Team 2 up there. We'll just have to see how things go on. Gun speed range has been started for LCR. Gun damage remains for Chancellor. Psychoad and Swee have taken some damage, but not terrible amount. They're both in the green. They're both Cybern, so no hit point advantages one way or the other. T2 coming along for Yoji. The only unfortunate part for Team 2 is that there are a lot of spam inbound from not Chancellor, sorry, that's the wrong team. Swee's position. This is going to force back Team 2 quite heavily, and Swee just does not care. He's going to full send it. That gun upgrade coming online for Chancellor is going to definitely put a problem on his situation. A hamper. That's hamper? I think that's the word for it. I don't know. English is very difficult for me for some dumb reason. Gun speed range has been started for Psycho. He just gets rooted to the spot there. He's like, nah, it's fine. I have a gun upgrade teammate nearby. And now we see that Chancellor is being surrounded by Team 1 forces inbound from Swee. Again, he went all the way east and then hooked around and went over Chancellor's comm. He should be fine. Swee is nearby. He's kind of, course, concerned about that gun upgrade. And I will split things off because there is some combat going down in the north. Looks like it's kind of died down, but these players, of course, fighting over a little bit of reclaim. Chancellor is suffering a lot, though. He's fallen into the mid-yellows now. This could be the first kill of the game. I don't see much action anymore. Lots of gun upgrades and T2 upgrades going down here for Team 1 and Team 2. But Chancellor is at 1 star of efficiency, so he's getting a little bit more regen per second, so nothing too critical so far. We, of course, see that gun upgrade has been pretty expedited here by Psychoad. Looks like he will make it out of there, that Chancellor. There's still Mantis chasing him, but it looks like the majority of them have been taken out. Very scary here for him. He drops actually into the red. Maybe if the rest of those units came into range, that could have been a kill, but it would have been closer, but it would have been... I think Chancellor would have been fine, but it would have been close. Gun upgrade now down for Psychoad, so it's going to be 2 gun comms here in the south. Counterattack inbound from Mav's forces from the northeast, and Demot coming in to assist. Sweet being like, okay, stop it, stop. I tried to do it to my opponent, don't do it to me, please, thank you. Gun has been started from Mav in his base. Speed range almost done here for Nice Try, already has T2. Chap almost done with gun. Failer almost done with gun. The Wreck doesn't have any upgrades, and Knightley doesn't have any upgrades. Nobody on Team 1 and Team 2 in the north have any upgrades, not counting, of course, Chap nearby. Looks like Tactical Missile has been canceled by Mav. He's like, I'm not really going to worry about that. Just specifically with forces inbound from Team 1 moving in onto this position. Actually, the forces from Failer actually cut across the middle and going after Mav. LCR coming in to assist for Team 1 as well, going not with his forces, but going south and then north. We'll see if Demut comes and assists him with that, but there are some T2 PD online, and that PD emplacement most likely will be taken out very quickly. Mav actually going to stand in front of that emplacement, going to build another one right next to it, and LCR will be forced to retreat. I think an Overcharge might have the AoE, but it would be close, I think, but unfortunately that PD does not get taken out in the south. Still, the attacks on Team 2's commanders commence. We see Yoji pushing in with the advantage that Sui has created, giving a little bit more buffer to pull in and push Team 2 back. We do see a couple of PD starting to, again, just essentially eliminate Team 2's ability to expand. Gunship rush inbound from Team 1 Sui. That is going to be a kill here unless Team 2's air forces can come in and save him. There are some interceptors moving in to do just that, but is it going to be in enough time? I don't think so. And somebody on Team 1 or Team 2 dies. It is Phalo dies, and there goes Chancer to that gunship rush. Okay, I was blind. My bad. Our guy says Failure. It looks like he just got bum rushed essentially and didn't see where he was. I think it's okay. You surprised me as well. Says nice try. So there is a little bit of camaraderie, but that is now. It was going to be a 7v6 in favor of Team 1, but then Team 2 lost the players, so now it's 6v6 tied up game once again. We do see this coordinated attack now from Team 2's middle players, that being Nice Try, who just got a kill, and now Chat moving in to deal with the rest of forces now being controlled by Kabanoff, who is going to retreat a little bit. We do see that Knightly's up here to the northeast with a gun speed / range upgrades, with Foul having stealth and gun on board. The Team 2 will gain a little bit of ground there. Team 1 will gain ground down here. And with 3 comms down here for Team 1, Psychoad's not looking good. We even see some forces from Sweep continuing to pressure. And this is not going to be enough to stop this push. They're all T1s. We haven't seen T2 as of yet. We even see the forces for Demut with a gun upgrade as well, ripping apart the rest of those incoming forces from Mav. Shield has been started for the wreck. He has gun speed / range on board, but he'll be able to survive a little bit of some prodding attacks, any sort of maybe early rushes like we saw with the gunships. It does look like Sui is stacking up another group for another attack. I'm assuming it's not going to work a second time, but it might. We see some forces inbound here from Sui getting into the main facilities for Mav, and there are some T1 PD and T2 PD in the mix, so most of these forces will be denied. But at least at a minimum, it's forced Team 2 to at least, again, pull back their attention, gives Team 1 a little bit more of an opening to engage. Interceptors have stacked up back here. Looks like they will engage. Psychoad is like, no, not dealing with this. And has some interceptors getting a Team 1 AA gun online. He knows it's not going to be enough, though. Bombers coming in to assist. That's not going to help. Those interceptors, they're not fast enough. Missile outbound from somewhere on Team 1 side of the map. Oh, look, there it is right there. Going after the headquarters for Team 2's player, the Wreck, who's taking control of Chancellor's forces. That's a dead position. That's going to suck. And there goes Psychoad, taken up by another Gunship T1 Jester Rush from Sui. He has 2 kills so far from that exact strat, and I feel like Team 2 is definitely going to counter that very quickly. T3 AA Gunship in the Restore department is online, so Team 1 has T3 Air. Sorry, Team 2 has T3 Air. Team 1 also has T3 Air, and it looks like Yoji might be getting into air as well. Another air facility online for Nightly, so 2 players on Team 1, possibly 3 in the air department. Team 2 only has the 1, but that 1 player has 3 bases now. Missile just outpouring. We do see a counter missile taking out that missile launcher. Nice grab by Mav's comm. He's like, no, done with that. We're done with that missile launcher. But of course, 2 mexes. T2 land headquarters taken offline, so a lot of the firepower knocked out for Team 2 on the southern side. We kind of might see a role reversal, but here we go in the north. Chap being bombarded by Restorers. Again, air-to-ground weapon, not great, but it's better than nothing. Chap is losing hit points decently quickly, and it is at 0 speed. It is not sped up. That looks like it's going to be a dead commander here shortly. There's no ASF nearby. There's no mobile AA. There's no nothing. Not even the gunships could save him at this point. This is going to be a dead comp for Team 2. They're going to lose another player. Oh, there he goes. And that is another kill for the gunship. So that is 3 kills from gunships for Team 1. Team 2 better get that AA online, or it's going to be a deadly day for Team 2. We're seeing Restorers just kind of poking and prodding at engineers and whatnot. And interesting enough, the Restorers from Team 2 able to target the ones for Team 1, and they're not able to fire back. Now we're just having a Restorer encounter. I don't see this really going anywhere for either team. It's going to just be death one way or the other. There is an ASF for 2 in the mix. Not a lot, but, you know, something better than nothing. Looks like the Wreck is going to fall back a little bit just because he wants to not get sniped, but he doesn't fall that far back, so it shouldn't be too much of a worry. Now we're seeing some PD coming online just to keep Team 1 at bay, and these forces now looking to take out Mav at this point. 13 minutes and 47 seconds on the clock here. Team 2 has lost almost half of their players. Of course, they give to 1 player a lot of mass, 300 mass income. The totals are favoring Team 1 ever so slightly, but still we see counter gunships online going after Lord Foul 13. Nightly pushing forward as well, emboldened by the gunship assist. There is some flak nearby and some T1 AA. It's better than nothing. And Foul is going to lose a decent chunk of hit points. Counter Restorers inbound, ASF's inbound, coming in to clean up those Restorers from Kavanoff. Foul is dropping below 50% of his hit points. Blazes and Nightly still pushing. And he's just full sending it home, and those gunships are dealt with, but he's not going to be pushing forward anytime soon. Team 2, again, it's looking like it's going to be almost like a kind of base trade with Team 1 losing the north but gaining the south, and then vice versa for Team 2. Still ASF hanging out here. There's still a little bit of AA nearby, but that's being cleaned out by Knightley. Knightley now able to target that commander a little bit. Knightley does not have the advance range, and now Maeve is taken out by Swede. Did he use another gunship rush? Nope, he used Corsairs, so he went the T2 route in that regard. And that is another kill for Team 1 on the southern side. Now more than half of their players are knocked out. 15 minutes on the clock here. The Wreck has another base under his control. And it is not looking good if you're rooting for Team 2, just in terms of numbers left. It is a 2v1, a 2-2-1 advantage, I should say. 6 players for Team 1, 3 players for Team 2. But again, Team 2 does have the 2200 rated player of the Wreck, and Knightley's really good as well. So they not out of it just yet, but that is a lot of APM running around the map, back and forth, that sort of thing. It's going to eat away at the efficiency of the Wreck if he's just constantly going back and forth. He probably should transfer a base or two over to somebody else just to, again, kind of divvy up some responsibilities. But he probably likes all that 400 mass income, which it is really nice to have. Team 1 still was ahead, though, at 600 mass per second, so that is something to be worried about. I mean, Team 2 and Team 1 don't know the totals for the either team, but this is one of those things to worry about in terms of casting games and being aware of what's going on. Forces inbound from the Wreck being thrown back because of these Percys running around, augmenting the forces up here for Knightley. Nano repair started here for Foul. He'll get that up pretty quickly. I don't see any more restorers inbound, but that was a great snipe. Look at this, 1 kill here, 1 kill here, another kill here. That's actually a really small explosion compared to this one. That's kind of weird. That's such a small explosion. Anyway, T2 PD creep to the max from Yoji. He just went, I'm just going to PD creep the entire way and just not worry about it. He is starting to be cut off, though, by these Titans inbound from the Wreck. There are some T2 PD in the mix back here, though, so they are helping out, and Corsairs doing what they can. T1 PD trying to be spammed up as fast as possible, but the Engineer's going to be wiped out, but I think the PD should be able to deal with the rest of those Titans. We do see, of course, Swede nearby, no upgrades. Demet has 1 gun upgrade on board, and Forces now down the middle from Nice Try trying to push in. We'll see if that ends up actually working out. There are some Loyalists in the mix, as well as some Percys, another Team 1 units, so it just depends if they focus fire, or if those those Zui are able to actually hit those Loyalists who are just standing still there for a moment. In the south, again, Yoji continuing to pressure. He's not giving up. There are bricks inbound, though, so he has Gun, Nano, and T2. And those bricks could wipe him out very quickly. He just has to be very careful how far he himself pushes. He really needs some T3 land tech online, which he does have in the air department, not in the land department, but he's about to have that as well, so he's going that way. I'm surprised he didn't build more Ilshis. T2 gunships moving in, but ASF's going to clean out those gunships very quickly. ASF's going to respond to this, but it's not enough from Team 1. And now we see, with the firepower and mass available to the Wreck, he's going to start just nipping away at everything on Team 1's side of the map. That lead is starting to crash, and Team 2 is starting to catch up. In the south, still ASF's just having some fun with one another, but nothing really too crazy. We do see Sui, of course, is down over here. Red AC has been pinpointed by Team 2's chap, like, hey, you should take him out. He's really annoying. And Sui is here, again, with no upgrade. Has a couple of Loyalists, and now we see more Titans inbound. That just might be a dead comm for Team 1 Sui. He's not getting out of there anytime soon. Demand is coming in with his gun comm as well, so that will try to help. But he's just got to get out of there. There's a lot of Titans over here for the Wreck. And Sui has not really a lot of firepower available to him. There are more Loyalists down here. And the comm of Demet coming in to overcharge a couple of these kills, says Psycho Ed. And I'm kind of surprised that Team 2 didn't just go for the kill there. It definitely would have slowed things up a little bit, specifically on the southern side, but it looks like the Wreck wants to keep him alive. Or he's probably just distracted on other things. We do see those bricks crashing down on this Seraphim fire base. But those brick walls are starting to be whittled down a little bit by Yoji, but Yoji losing hit points very quickly. Needs another kill. Yep, gets that rank in veterancy. He desperately needed that. but he's losing hit points incredibly quickly. Those bricks, all they got to do is continue to walk and catch up to him. There's also a brick up here. They're going to take out Yoji's commander. He pushed way too far forward. The wreck countered, and that is a kill for Team 2's the wreck. That is a 5v3 in favor of Team 1. Sorry, yeah, it's still a Team 1. And now the entire momentum has just come to a grinding halt for Team 1 on the southern side. Huge amounts of pressure just relieved. The wreck is going to definitely be happy about that, not having to deal with all of the nonsense that Yoji and Sui were doing. At least Sui was more early game with the Team 1 Jesters and the Corsairs, but at this point, with all those Titans running around and bricks to support, it could be just another kill. Sui still doesn't have any upgrades on board, not even stealth, not even T2, nothing is on board that comm. This is a dangerous amount of Titans. They move very quickly. There's still more up there, and he is just pumping those things out. He's not stopping anytime soon, that player, the wreck. Team 1 is still leading in mass department, almost back up to 100 mass more. And in the north, looks like things again just kind of quiet. I mean, there's a little bit of pushing and poking and prodding and that sort of thing, but nothing really too concerning. The real danger, of course, is on the southern side, where all of these Titans are just waiting to engage. Surprised that the wreck hasn't pumped out Percy's, but again, because this map is not super big, it's probably about a 16 by 16 or so, but because he's been able to just rapidly respond to all these threats, 55 Titans on station for him, so lots of firepower available to him, taking out some T2 mexes. Cerberus PD just tickling them at this point. They do get one kill, to be fair, and there are some bricks to assist. And there's also bricks coming in as well from the south. But again, that's a lot of Titans stacking up. There are some gunships running around for Sri, but he has to be very careful. Still no upgrades. If he's going to be that far forward with at least with his commander, he should have something, whether that's gun, whether that's nano, whether cloaking, something. Something's got to be online. Granted, if he did put cloaking, that's when they can see him, so not as effective as he probably wants it to be. That's where he built an experimental. It is a chicken or a monkey. I would presume monkey, but it is actually a chicken. Maybe it was started by Yoji, who he took over from. Maybe. But that chicken's going to definitely help out a lot. But there's a lot of Titans, as I said. It's a little dangerous. And he even gets control of the ASF from his teammate of Kabanoff. Very interesting. He's gifting those over to him. He's just keeping the gunships up here. There might be a snipe attempt on Knightley, but Knightley also has shield heavy, advanced range, and sensor package. So he will see it a little bit before the attack comes into range. But it looks like he's perfectly fine. Lord Fowl has, again, nano and gun on board. There's a lot of Harbingers. He just needs to get them in range, and that'll be a dead comm for Team 1. Yathotha says chap. So, yeah, the chicken has been spotted. Are there any spicy plays coming out of Team 2's The Wreck? It is 22 minutes, but he has a lot of mass available to him. He's just expanding his air grid, it looks like. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't done so already, because why not? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with anyone, everyone, and especially your pets. And again, if there's any issues with the recording, I know I've changed venues a few times in terms of this machine versus the other machine I've been using the past couple weeks. Let me know so I can just make those adjustments. Nothing should have changed. Maybe the mic might be a little high or low. But again, just let me know. I really do appreciate it so I can provide the best quality entertainment that I possibly can. Gunships attacking Knightley's commander. They will not go for the kill. They just wanted to weaken him enough. They went after... Oh. Are they just going to go for it anyways? Oh, nope. They're going to go for it anyways. There it is. Team 2 is going to lose another player at this point. The ASF's not engaging really that much from the wreck, and that will be a kill here for Team 1's air player of Kabanoff. There's some flak trying to help, but there they go. Oh, great grab by Team 1. I kind of spotted it coming, and it was bound to at least be attempted at a minimum. It is now a 5v2 in favor of Team 1, and the Titans be a cooking in this game. They are just booking it. There's some Titans and some bricks running around. Rapid fire weaponry is at a all-time high. Plasma production is very, very profitable. That's the word I was looking for. We see Titans coming in from the north as well. This is just going to be a full-on Titan warfare from the wreck. Demet coming in again with 4-star veterancy and only gun on board. T3 land headquarters going down. Game keeps getting paused. Looks like the wreck unpaused it. Chicken pushing in, tries to push those Titans away, and then this group of forces is just letting the Titans just, they're just eating up everything. Look at this thing. It's just not stopping. All those bricks just being annihilated, but super land crush as map. I mean, it's possible. Gunships pushing in on the north. They're trying to go after the air grid, I'd presume, but there are a decent amount of AA gunships, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some T3 AA or even T2 AA be built here shortly. We do see that LCR's in the pond. He's like, nah, not engaging that. Chicken is being not even, kind of surrounded, but relatively being ignored. They're going after the bases here, which is definitely the smarter move. That mass lead is now heavily favoring Team 2 and 1.1k versus, well, that makes me think it's probably power related. Not great. No, that's definitely the actual consumption or production. And the Titans have mostly been dealt with now, but that was a huge blow to the frontline defenses of Team 1. Again, more breathing room to operate. That's a lot of mass killed. I mean, that mechs will die. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it. 8 mexes, but if they were single ringed, T2 mexes, 9 times 8, 72 mass. Sorry, 9 times, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 9 times 8, 72 mass. Let's call it 75, just to make the math a little bit. Just to explain a little bit of the discrepancy here in terms of who's in the lead. Quite majestic watching 2.2k play. Yeah, it is definitely majestic. I love casting these high-rated players. I mean, the fact that, look at this. You have Team 2's the wreck, has 6 bases, and he's just running everywhere. I imagine he's just, constantly going all over the map. I don't want to, give anybody eyes twitching because I'm just spamming the the window around the map. But that's probably what he's doing constantly. He's probably in this mode a lot, or this, not necessarily this zoomed out. I'd say probably this zoomed out, at least at a minimum. I mean, he has so much mass at his purview. 800 mass for the wreck. He's got to be producing a fat boy or a chicken or a monkey or... Oh, there's a chicken, but not for the wreck. That's for nice try. Or not even a Colossus. He's producing no experimentals. It looks like the ASFs are just guarding Farrell at this point. It looks like Force is stacking up. Nuke is outbound from Team 1. Sweet. He went, okay, I'm done with this. He's going after the air grid. Is there an SMD? Oh, no. There's no SMD. Oh, made a nuke. I mean, that's not trash. That's definitely a smart thing to do. There is an SMD. It is not loaded. Oh, that's going to be devastating for the wreck. His forces are like, I am out of here. There it goes sailing across the map. This is going to be a really, really good nuke for Team 1. It's going to take out most of the air grid and probably a couple of T2, T3 mexes. They're producing as many air forces as possible. That nuke is inbound. Colossus has been started. And there he goes. I mean, it's probably going to leave a couple of facilities, but kaboom! That's what, 1, 2, 3 mexes taken offline, plus the headquarters, plus most of the power in that facility. That is, I'd say 55,000 mass. Oh, I would have been better with 50,000, but 48's decent guess. We do see lots of restorers stacking up, fighting one another. And ASF, of course, trying to just mitigate the losses of the air grid. But there's a lot of AA on board those gunships. And they are slowly whittling away the ones from the wreck. Same thing, again, here from Team 2 to Team 1. But the numbers are still favoring Team 1's Kabanov. And he doesn't have any ASF. There are ASF over here for Demut, but he's not engaging with them. He's keeping them in reserve. Looks like he's trying to draw out the remaining ASFs from the wreck, but I don't really get why he's splitting off the ASFs and whatnot. Maybe he just wants all the gunships and leave him the ASFs. I don't really know. I don't know what the strategy is. But while Team 1 is winning the land game, Team 2 is winning the air game. Team 2 is winning the air game. Land game. Wow, I can't speak. And there's a chicken, tons of Harbingers and Percys and Authams. And where's a brick? Where is it? There's the Quadfecta. Where's the Quadfecta? Oh, come on. There's not a brick in here. Aww. That's disappointing. It would have been the Quadfecta of mainline units. Oh. It was like that match yesterday where stuff happened and somebody almost had a Quadfecta. Just, I'll leave it at that. I don't want to spoil anything. There is a decent amount of AA, but there's not that much. There are a couple of Ravagers being spammed up here. That hill is just short enough to be able to fire over it and be able to target some of these units. Tickle cannons over here. And this is a force that is not to be trifled with. Chicken going to lead the charge with all of the T3 units behind it. It's usually that or it's reversed where all the T3 units move in. But I love this transfer of control given to Nice Try. So the Wreck can micro them a lot better. I love to see that. I always make a comment about it when I do see it. Just divvying up duties a lot better. Another nuke is outbound. Sui is just pumping those things out. Bang. That is a very quick loading nuke. And not even all the engineers are assisting. Might be a mass-related thing. And here comes those gunships inbound for the chicken. Lightning tanks coming in. And those things are going to rip apart those gunships. Ooh, look at them just taken out. The flak on board the chicken is not great, but there's Cougars in the mix. There's a lot of flak down here. There's more than I thought. Monkey coming in from behind. There are a lot of Percys here, so that could be a dead monkey very quickly. It needs to get up to at least 2-star to really be a little bit more beefy. But 1-star vet. And that's it. Yep, that does not stay much longer than that. Chicken is going to die in the middle of this base, kill off the rest of it if it gets close enough. Gets a rank in veterancy, definitely will keep it alive a little bit longer. The restorers are knocked out. And the chicken will survive, surprisingly enough. T1 bombers stacking up, going to go in all at once. And will this save the air grid here for Kamenov? I don't know. There's a lot of dead units. I don't know if a lot of those bombs land. They don't really land to get wiped out before their bombs are dropped. Couple of bricks up here. We did see the Quadfecta, just not for the same team. And that chicken is still alive. 95 hit points regenerating, 3-star veterancy. And that remaining group of reinforcements are now killed off. Team 2 is going to claim the entire northern section. That's going to be devastating. Team 1 was leading in the eco, but they're not going to be anymore. There go the P-gens. It's just going to be a nice cascade. Oh, there it goes. There goes the remaining of those P-gens. T3 air headquarters going down. Team 1 does not have a response to this, and that is a great, great win. Oh, we missed the nuke. I think it didn't land. Let's see. That's a comm kill. That's a comm kill. That's a comm kill. Oh, this was a nuke. Kaboom! That was a nuke, because I can tell because it's the swirl of the Seraphim. Colossus pushing in, but it looks like it's just kind of been not really thrown to the wayside, but there's not that much remaining of it. And now the chicken pushing south. Everything gifted over from Kamenov to Sui. Looks like he's going to speed load that nuke. And he will do that. Look at this thing. 76,000 mass killed. So 37 or 38 mass. 38,000 mass per nuke kill. Definitely a good average there. But just look at the knife cut straight down the middle. And the chicken is still going. Very devastating for Team 1. They can come back from this. And we even see a couple of bricks roaming around here from Lord Fowl going after some T3 mexes. So while there is some economic damage going down here against the wreck, like I said, it just depends on how much more Team 1 loses. Another nuke is outbound. And if that nuke lands, well, there's 2 T2 mexes there. That's not too bad. There is an SMD down here. That's not loaded. These are mostly T3 mexes. That would have been a better thing to grab, but just in case, essentially, the SMD was loaded. Kind of a want to kill something just in case kind of thing. Definitely understand that point of view. Bricks still causing some havoc. Colossus newly minted off the assembly line. Kills off that remaining unit. The brick actually still able to fire from the Colossus's arms, and it does kill off that mix. Nice, and here comes that remaining force from the wreck, the main T3 force. It looks like the chicken went up north. Kavanaugh wants to just die at this point. There he goes. Just distract the chicken long enough maybe to get that crab online is probably what he was thinking. Team 1 loses another player. It's a 2-1 advantage for Team 1 now. It's 4 columns remaining versus 2. Harbinger getting into this air grid. That's not great. That's the only other air grid online for Team 1. Team 2 has lost their main one, but they are rebuilding as we speak. Lord Fowl builds an experimental. The crab is done. The chicken's going to get into this base. Lord Fowl's over here. He could be targeted by the chicken, but he's not going after it. Going after the P-gens. That's going to be a nice little hug from that chicken going after that crab. Still, the forces from the wreck continue to pressure Team 1, and they take out another air grid. Man, this has been a very interesting game, to say the least. Nobody gets air in this game. It's all going to be land and nukes. Land and nukes. That's pretty much it. 93,000 mass killed. Oh, kaboom! Takes out those mexes over there. SMD will probably load. Yep, it will load by that time the nuke is able to launch. SMD is loaded, so it protects this chunk of territory, and that SMD is also loaded. So everything else is fine. T3 Mex is now going to go down to some Harbingers and Authams. Team 1 just does not have a response to any of this. They've lost a severe amounts of stuff. In the south, it looks like bricks pushing in against more bricks and a couple of Authams, but it's mainly just posturing. It just wants to keep Team 1 at bay. There's a group of Percy's inbound. That's going to break through that wall very quickly. Rebuild, says we rebuild. And Team 1 PD being just spammed up. That P-gen's going to go down. That's going to hurt. T3 air headquarters will be fine, but P-gen's going down. Mex is going down. Not great. Team 1 knocked down to the 1,000 mass range. Team 2 at 1.3k. And the wreck is just lifting his team on his shoulders and just full sending it. That chicken, sorry, not chicken, that Colossus, it's just not great for Team 1. But it does look like that Megalith is inbound. Everything riding on that nuke at this point. I don't know if he's building something else, but he's launching another nuke. It's outbound. It's going for this space. He actually predicted it quite well. If the forces stack up right here, that'll be a nice opening for his forces to move in. It just depends on if Team 2's the wreck keeps those forces there or not. And he does. That nuke is inbound. He's probably thinking, oh, it's just going to that base. The SMD will shoot it down and not really worry about it. And the Lord Fowl has been defeated by nice try. The chicken just came in and wiped him out. So Team 1 loses another player in the north. Kaboom! Takes out everything but a brick in that mix. And then we'll open the door for Sweet's forces to push in. The nuke is just being spam loaded at this point. 143,000 mass killed with that thing. And it's just land spam as much as Team 2's the wreck and nice try can do. It's a 3v2 game now. Team 1 not at a 2-1 or 5-2 advantage, like more than 1 point something comms kind of thing. It's soon to be a 1v1, a 1-1 here shortly if somebody else on Team 1 dies. 2 chickens versus 2 chickens, but a lot of T3 support, only going to go one way in that regard. There are 2 crabs inbound now, so that's going to help. And it looks like LCR is being pinged saying, hey, you should probably move. I mean, there are Percy's. They don't have torpedoes on board, so there isn't really a danger there. The chicken is down, but the bricks are going to walk right into it. That's not a great idea. Gunship's inbound, but going to get wiped up by lightning tanks. This brick force, though, is very concerning. There's a lot of inbound forces. T2 PD being spammed up, and also shields to protect that investment. That SMD is going to go down in that engagement, most likely, and that will open the door for a nuke to take out the rest of that base. In the north, again, 2 crabs versus 2 chickens. It's only going to go one way. That chicken is getting pretty close, though, and I'm going to split things up just because there is a lot going on. That crab, does go down due to that T3 Percy support. And in the southeast, this group of forces is still pushing in. Look at that dead zone on the minimap. Just look how much stuff is just not there for Team 1. And that Colossus is getting a nice little hug from that crab. Chicken v chicken fight. Looks like Team 2's the Wreck will win that fight. Another nuke is outbound. Where is it going? This nuke might determine the game. I don't know where it's going, so we'll try to track it on the minimap. It's going northeast. It looks like it's going to go after this base, most likely. There's another chicken up here inbound from Nice Try. Nice Try is hanging in there. He's doing a very good job of assisting the Wreck, and this force is just going to steamroll this entire position. And the nuke is sailing overhead. Where is it going? Looks like it might fall a little bit short, or it might go after the Colossus producing facility up here to the north. The SMD might grab it. Oh, it does grab it just barely. So no worries there for the Wreck. But again, that nuke is being heavily loaded. And there's another dead experiment that looks like it was under construction. The crab trying to chase the chicken. The chicken will probably make it out. And that force down there is just wiping the rest of everything out at this point. I wish I could just set the minimap to like, this is position 1, this is position 2, and I can just swap it instead of having to constantly move it back and forth. I will ping it or pin it so it doesn't move, but nah. Chicken down here going to deal with the rest of these bricks, and there goes the rest of this southern base. Now we're seeing Team 1 850 mass versus Team 2 is 1.5, mostly of course being driven by the Rex. 1.1k, he's producing more mass than the entirety of Team 1, and you can see it by the fact there's 3 Colossus up here. There's more, just the everything inbound. Strap bombers inbound, going after AA. Flak gonna rip apart the wings on board that strap bomber. They'll be fine for the most part, but still. Torpedo. Why is Torpedo being built by LCR? Don't really understand that, but okay. And the bricks being shot at range against this chicken. And the chicken is actually going to push in a little bit more to get a better range on him. And these forces continuing to now carve a path northward, essentially doing exactly what happened in the north from the Wreck. And it will just come down to how long can one team hold the flank. And this one is looking very bad for Team 1. I mean, Sui has that nuke launcher. He's been loading that thing a lot. I feel like he probably could have gone for a game ender or something with all the mass he's has been gifted over. Plus, you know, he's been just spamming it with the nukes. Nukes are very good, I will admit. Like, one of my favorite things to say is kaboom on the channel, but it's just one of those things where in this game in particular, because he's not able to take out bases, he's just going to launch another nuke. That SMD is going to load once more. So unless he can outpace the passive loading, it's not going to matter. There's so much land pressure. It would have been probably better to just nuke this. Maybe, of course, lose a chicken, but at least at a bare minimum, take out most of the hit points on both these Colossi. Chicken is online. Standing next to P-Gens, would not recommend. AoE damage is deadly in this game. The nuke's going to get shot down. I don't even have to look at it to know it. There it goes. Yep, gets shot down in the east. Bricks do split up, though. Looks like most of them go west. Some of them go north to kind of just distract these forces while all these T3 facilities get knocked down. Omni would be a nice thing to take out. There's just so much between this force and the northeastern position, which has now re-expanded its air grid. So Team 1 has really no air to speak of besides what's already been built. Air grid gets wiped out once again for a second time, and now the only real base online is Sui's. It's essentially Sui versus the world, where Team 2 was down so many comms. The Rex like, just give me more mass, just give me more mass, just give me more mass. Yeah, he had all the mass he could ever need, yeah, with however many bases he had. I think he had 5. He has 5 now, or had 5 now, or 6 now, but I think he had 5. 4 is when he really got cooking. No way he's going to transport himself across the map and kill the Wreck. That would be a flip of astronomical proportions. Unfortunately, Team 1, I don't think they have a transport. Nuke is outbound. It's a close support nuke. Oh, I don't... Oh, it'll probably kill off this Colossus, though. Oh, right up and right back down. Kaboom! Takes out that Colossus. And the shields are going to try to hold as much as possible. The nuke is going down. There's that Colossus. Once it's underneath the shield, the emitter's going to go down. There goes Oh, no. There you go. Focus the nuke. Huge win for the wreck. Takes out that thing that's been vexing him for a while. And that's pretty much the game right there. Teleporter being built by LCR. He probably wants to go after the wreck. He probably knows he's up there. But again, he has shield heavy. Sorry, he only has regular shield, not shield heavy. That was Knightley who had that. But he still has shields, so 19,000 hit points. The torpedo isn't that strong. And now it's just death to everything else. The chicken actually surprisingly gets built, but it doesn't matter because it's already dead anyway. And I'm going to speed things up to +2 because it's really not going anywhere. Even if a transport was built, there's no way it's getting to that side of the map. There's gunships already in place. Torpedo bombers already in place. He knows what's happening. Resign, says the wreck. He's like, just do it, please. Colossus running around the water down there. Now he blocks with gunships. Yeah, there's no way that's going to work. So I don't know what was going on with... I mean, it was a nice idea, but the wreck is very aware of that. He's like, I have a lot to learn, and the wreck is just smiley face. I mean, it does help that he got a ton of mass. It just helped he got a lot of it, realistically. And there goes the Colossus coming in, wiping out the rest of those forces down there. Sweet control Ks. LCR is defeated by the wreck, leaving only Demut as the remaining player on Team 1. 44 minutes on the clock here. It went from a, essentially, was it 6v3 to a 5v2 to now a 1v2 in favor of Team 2 for the first time in the game. And there goes the retreat. Team 2 wins the game. The wreck gets MVP. I think there's really no conversation, or not conversation. There's no real, I wasn't say argument, but he's really the obvious choice. The Nice Try did a very good job in the middle. He did, especially those chickens coming in and taking out the rest of this northern section. But it was just essentially an entire clean sweep of the everything on Team 1 side of the map from Team 2. That push from that group of Titans and Percy's and Chicken, that's what set Team 2 on the, like, that was the defining moment, and then everything else was just an encore to all of that. But again, let me know down in the comments what you felt about the match overall. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And as always, please, I really do appreciate it that you watch till the end of the video. I really do. So again, thank you so much, and I'll see all of you in the next one.